There's something really interesting with the casting in this film, which I will talk about in a moment. But I'm not just talking about Jodie Sweetin, but I love her when she's in a Hallmark film. I know I'm in for a treat. Love Under the Rainbow is absolutely no exception. This is the 2019 film, directed by Tony Dean Smith and written by Kirsten Hansen. Sweetin plays a teacher called Lucy, who at the beginning of the film bumps, quite literally, into Jack, played by David Haydn-Jones. Unbeknownst to her, Jack is actually the father of Sophie, who is a new pupil at Lucy's school. Lucy is, of course, a teacher. And as the film progresses, Lucy spends more time with both Sophie and her father, Jack. Sparks are flying. What role is Lucy going to play in both Sophie and Jack's life by the end of the film? I'm not going to say anything, but I will say it's a Hallmark film. You can kind of expect the expected. But it's really beautiful. The rainbow aspect comes from Sophie, who is obsessed with rainbows, and that comes from her mother, who is actually deceased. Her mother loved rainbows. Sophie has carried that on, and she's actually making a science fair project all about rainbows, and her teacher Lucy is helping her with that. And it kind of all ties Jack and Sophie together with Lucy. And Lucy is a character I love. If she'd been one of my teachers, I would have absolutely adored her. She's a really likable character. She's very realistic. She acknowledges the fact that, even though she's got these feelings for Jack, he's the father of one of her students. She shouldn't really be doing anything with this. But the film doesn't kind of go into too much information about that morally. She's also very much there for Sophie as a character. And I enjoyed the progression of this. If you don't like rainbows for whatever reason, it's not like overburdened with rainbows. It's not going to be completely in your face, so you can still watch it. I find that this went very quickly. It's the average hour and 40 minutes or so, and the time just flew by. Really, really went by really quickly. Maybe that's because I love Jodie Sweetin. I don't know. But I thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. The characters were likable, they were believable, the casting was brilliant. And with the casting, it's just a little bit of a coincidence, I think, but I really like this. Dakota Guppy, who plays Sophie, actually played young Jodie Sweetin in that very terrible unauthorized Full House story from 2015. So it was 4 years prior to this, but she actually played Jodie Sweetin in that. So to now have her acting with Sweetin in this, I just think is a lot of fun. Maybe it wasn't a coincidence, I don't know, but I think she's absolutely fantastic in this as well. Really adored it. Yes, I'm biased, I love Sweetin, but it had all of the hallmarks of a brilliant Hallmark. The very likeable characters, a predictable but cozy story, an emotional but enthusiastic child. It worked really well, and it's one that I'm very, very happy to recommend.